47 pounds down on my Mounjaro weight loss in 18 weeks. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost a total of over 100 pounds being on Mounjaro, Zepbound, and tirzepatide compound. I've lost that because of the Mounjaro shortage and Zepbound shortage is why I've been on the different combinations, but Mounjaro and Zepbound are the exact same thing, just two different FDA approvals. Mounjaro is for type 2 diabetes and Zepbound is for chronic obesity management. So it's applicable for both, even though they have two separate ones with type 2 diabetes versus chronic obesity management. And I did this video a year ago, over a year ago, and I wanted to come back and revisit losing 47 pounds on Mounjaro 10 milligrams. It was just starting, and the mistakes that I had made, and hopefully to give you some encouragement with it and some tips and techniques of what worked well and what just made me fall flat on my face, and hopefully to help encourage you. As always, never medical advice, simply my experience, strength, and hope of losing now over 100 pounds, and hopefully helping prompt for you to talk to your healthcare provider and prompting for you to go to an actual professional, either a dietitian or if it's for in terms of weight training, like a trainer, or of course anything medical, always to your healthcare provider, because I am not that. I don't pretend to play that. Let's dive in. So when I took my first Mounjaro 10 milligram shot, it was horrible. Just straight out of the gate, it was not a pleasant experience for me. I woke up at 3 a.m. Feeling horrible. It felt like I had the flu. It felt like somebody took a sledgehammer and just sledgehammered my head. I had horrible headaches, body aches. I felt like I had the flu, but I did not have the flu, which I've taken subsequently my flu shot and COVID vaccines. And so those are going to be on other videos about what I did with taking vaccines, but I digress. What I did was I woke up and it was awful. And then the next day I felt like garbage. And so what I want to encourage you was, one, is I sat in the yuck of not feeling good. Where I made the problem though is I allowed my body to rest. That wasn't the problem, but I allowed my body to rest and really giving myself permission, and coming from chronic obesity management and having whack blood panels and just not taking very good care of my body, it was very foreign to me to be like, babes, you just need to rest. And also being type A on top of that, compounding type A-ness, babes, you just need to rest. And leaning into that was really hard for me. And maybe that's easy for you. Maybe you're like, okay, whack job. But for me, it really wasn't. Like, this was a learned skill over the last 2 years of being on GLP-1 medication, to give my body grace, give my body rest, but also communicating that to my family and with my job. What I have now is I coined the 24 to 36 hour grace period. I know for me that I have, regardless if I'm on Mounjaro 10 milligrams or Zepbound 10 milligrams or tirzepatide compound equivalent, that I need to buffer in a 24 to 36 hour when I do my injection, that time period afterwards. Because usually in some sort of capacity, I feel differently. But particularly when I am titrating up and having titrated up on Mounjaro and titrating up on Zepbound, that there's this extra level of needing even more grace than that, because it's more of the GLP-1 going into my body. And so changing a medication, a foreign substance into my body, allowing even more grace than that 24 to 36 hour period. And so that's my first biggest tip, is giving extra grace for myself, allowing myself to have permission on that. And tip number 2 is changing my schedule. And I did not. At this, when I titrated up to Mounjaro 10 milligrams or the equivalent Zepbound 10 milligrams, I did not. I had major work projects due. I had to power through, even though I felt like complete garbage. And that I don't like to do. I always obviously want to give my best in all things that I do for my job and for my family and for myself too. But that was really a turning point for me. And hopefully will help encourage you not to make the same mistake of giving extra buffer. And then what I found is I have an extra buffer. I pull out my Google Calendar. I know those days of shot days. Then I have an extra buffer. And if I don't need the extra buffer, then I'll pile on a whole bunch of other extra work on there, and then it's no big deal. But I've at least carved out in my schedule so I know, and then I can make it up on the back end. Typically for me, on day 5, 6, and 7, I'm feeling so much better. I got a little pep in my step, and then I can make up on the back end of the shot week the things that I wasn't able to do at the beginning of the week. And I travel for my work too. And so sometimes that makes it a little complicated if I'm on the road with a client or not, but that's been really, really helpful for me. Number 3, is, and going back to that real fast, if I realize that's also a privilege of being able to change my schedule like that, that some people with their occupation, or if you have little kids, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I get it. I have a 9-year-old who acts like he's 16 in the best possible way. And so I understand that sometimes that is just not feasible. It's just not feasible with that. But what I did do, and one of the things that I have learned best is element electrolytes are dramatically helpful for my side effects. It has made a big difference for me with taking element electrolytes. When I first started 2 years ago, I bought their sticks because like FBI sharpshooters and high level athletes take element electrolytes. And I was like, if the best of the best take it, I'm going to take it too. And I took it at the beginning to help with my nausea, diarrhea, constipation. Those are super common side effects, Mounjaro side effects and Zepbound side effects. They're super common. I've had a variety of different ones throughout my last 2 years. And so that element has helped me dramatically with those. But now it's the muscle recovery because I lift and I weight train and I work out a lot more. Girl, I don't even know who I am. I'm like, who is this chickadee who works out and who lives? But that's me. I've made these amazing lifestyle changes, and that wouldn't have happened without Mounjaro and Zepbound. So taking these, I typically do a full stick in a 40-ounce tumbler. I like to have more water with it, but the cool part is you can customize what works best for yourself. And then I also am absolutely obsessed with the cans. If you see me in I live in rural Virginia. If you see me bebopping around, typically I have an element electrolyte can in my car. I love them. My kid loves them. My 9-year-old Duke plays soccer. He's really good at sports. And so he had horrible leg cramps. You know what we did? We started giving him element electrolytes. Boom, it helped his leg cramps. I had been getting leg cramps because I had been getting leg cramps because I stopped for a couple days taking element at the beginning. And that was a mistake. I will never do that again. Because then I haven't had those severe leg cramps as a result of taking. So, and now there's also the chocolate medley you can put in your coffees, like hot coffees right now, which I love. I just walked 2 miles with the dogs with Mr. Freddie and Wilma, came back, had a third of the stick of the chocolate medley. They have chocolate raspberry, chocolate mint. There's a bunch of them. I'll link it down below. Element's been very gracious to give us 8 free sticks with any purchase. DrinkElement.com/queen, QUEEN. But that has been dramatically helpful for my side effects with Element. And all the free resources, my free meal plan and free encouragement group, I'll also link down in the description link below in addition to this link. And Element's been very gracious with the Countess of Shopping community. Thanks, Element, for those 8 free sticks with any purchase. And so those side effect hours, not overloading my schedule, taking element electrolytes, but also realizing that side effects for me have changed. As I've gone through and titrated up different doses, and when I traded up to Mounjaro 10 milligrams, that was a different feeling, that severe flu body ache feeling. I had not had it to that intensity level until Mounjaro 10 milligrams. So I want to encourage you to talk to your healthcare provider for all side effects, of course. Again, this is simply my experience, strength, and hope you're going to have your own. But talking to them about the different side effects, just because I had one didn't mean I'm not going to have another one later on down the pike. I wish somebody had told me that when I was first starting, that, oh, I erroneously thought when I got through Mounjaro 2.5 milligrams and Mounjaro 5 milligrams, which is the equivalent to Zepbound 2.5 milligrams and Zepbound 5 milligrams, that, oh, I've been having a lot of diarrhea, so I'm probably gonna have diarrhea for the rest of my shots. For me, not so, boo. Constipation then got weaved in there, nausea got weaved in there, body aches, leg, like muscle pains in there, headaches. I had a change in my taste buds. Like there's been a lot of, and that has flowed quite a bit. And so I want to share with you, if that is also your experience, to talk to your healthcare provider on that too. I did not have sulfur burps, and knock on wood, I've never had them. I'm on the highest dose, Zepbound 15 milligrams, Mounjaro 15 milligrams. Thankfully, I haven't had sulfur burps, thankfully, but that is something that people have because of the delaying of gastric emptying, that food can sit in there and that can make these gnarly sulfur burps. And if you know what sulfur smells like, PU, stinkeroonie, talk to your healthcare provider on that. Next, is plateauing in my weight stall. So this was the point for me. I've been on GLP-1 medication now for 2 years, losing over 100 pounds. I have, oops, that's not what I wanted to show you guys. And so I've had weight stalls and Zepbound weight plateaus and Mounjaro weight plateaus throughout my experience. And so I want to tell you that's normal. If you are like chugging along, losing a ton of weight, and then you come to this screeching halt, that is also totally normal. And so I want to encourage you, two things. One, have you tried switching your injection location? Whenever I say this, people come back and combat me, or they scoff it off and be like, Elizabeth, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. And most hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have come back to me and been like, you're right. You're right. And I'm like, I know I'm right. I know I'm right. This is not across the board for everybody, but for several people, if you change your rotation injection, you may have a different outcome. People will say, what's the scientific reason for that? I don't know. I'm not healthcare. Talk to your healthcare provider. My experience, strength, and hope is on the back of my arm. There's 3 location shots we can do. The back of my arm is the best for weight loss, but subsequently I will have the most side effects. So if I have a big work presentation, I tend to not do, or like something really important for my job, I won't do the back of my arm that week because I know I'm going to feel more like garbage with my side effects on there. But my was going to be more, weight loss will be more that week. Subsequently, like my thigh, my stomach, I'm going to have basically, for me, no weight loss. It's just going to be like even Steven. And during like the holiday season, I don't mind having even Steven results because I want to enjoy and eat some of that food. Or like my birthday week, I'm like, I'm just going to do my stomach because I want birthday cake. Like I want to really enjoy the food in which I'm eating and maybe eat a little bit more food. I can't eat copious amounts of food like I used to, but certainly the level of appetite suppression for me is different by changing the injection rotation spot to one of those 3. I have a free tracker on countessofshopping.com where if you want to, and I'll link it in the description link below, if you want to track your side effects, that for me was very helpful. So I could have my own data. It wasn't Joe Schmo's data. It was my data of where I'm having subsequently the injection location shot, and then the weight loss corresponding to that, and then corresponding side effects to that. If you don't want my free printable, although I would recommend, I got a ton of free stuff on countessofshopping.com. And in the new year, that website, I'm so excited. The Count and I are ramping that up to make it your stop destination for all things GLP-1. But that is linked in the description link below to track that. If you want to track it on your phone, however you wish to do it, but I would encourage you to do it at least for a couple of months so you have your own data to know if an injection site works better for you so you can use that to your advantage. For me, it surely has been, and it's been very, very helpful to rotate those injection sites. So going back over to my 47 pounds and 18 weeks on Mounjaro 10 milligrams, I changed over to inject in my arm. And that was one of the reasons why I felt like complete garbage. I did not feel well on there. And so I want to encourage you, that's also totally, for me, changing these injection sites has been really, really beneficial and helpful, but also then I can manipulate somewhat my side effects corresponding. If it's going to be a high side effect week or a lower side effect week, because I have the data to prove that for my own body. Now, again, some people don't even have, some people are like, I tried your technique and it didn't work. But for the hundreds of people and the thousands of people in my free encouragement group and hundreds of people who've commented that this has made a big difference in their Mounjaro weight loss journey and Zepbound weight loss journey, I want to encourage you, try it, see. I mean, Eli Lilly tells us in our literature to rotate those injection sites. So come back and let me know. I'm dying to know. Try it for a couple of weeks and tell me. I know I was very afraid on the back of my arm. I'm like, it's gonna hurt. It feels differently than on my stomach and in my thigh. I was very fearful in the beginning to do my thigh and my back of my arm. The stomach was great, and I did that so much. I like moved the injection site around my belly button, the spot where it tells us in our literature from Eli Lilly where to do it. These injection sites, you want to follow the directions Eli Lilly has given us with these, but it has made a profound impact for me each week as I continue to learn. And the main point of this too is 2 major things Eli Lilly tells us we need to do is change our eating habits and change for lifestyle, and a lifestyle change with our physical activity. And so we'll talk about that in future videos. So I want you to click that like and subscribe button as we continue to make these lifestyle changes. I have a daily show here. I would implore you to click that button. I've been through a lot of stuff in the last 2 years, a lot of stuff. And so hopefully this helped encourage you. If you do need if you do want additional encouragement, I do have a free encouragement group linked down below. It's a Facebook private group. You do need to fill out all the information. If you have a Facebook page that's less than 5 years old, you may get flagged as spam. Just shoot me me an email. If you're like, haven't gotten approved in a couple of days, shoot me an email. I'll immediately approve you. It's me who runs that group. I intentionally don't hire that out to have other people run the group. I am the group admin in that because it is also my encouragement. As I go through this, I need the mindset encouragement. And right now, currently, I'm giving away $1,000. So there's a gift card challenge going on for free encouragement group members. We do a lot of challenges in there. And it happens to be $1,000 in Amazon gift cards, 2 $500 Amazon gift cards that I'm giving away. So make sure you join that too. If anything, the challenges are fun just for motivational, like body movement, food changes, things like that. And our accountability question, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me in the comments below. And we do an emoji of the day here at Countess of Shopping. And it helps me to know who made it this far in the video so I can get to know you better because I truly do care. And so today's emoji is going to be a check. Check! That means that you made it. And if you're not near where you can do an emoji, you can type in check. And it helps me to get to know you better. When I see your name pop up over and over and over, it helps me to get to know you. And our count or countesses of the week, YouTube has given this new feature of where I can see our daily spotlight. And our daily spotlight this week is Thelma, Gammy, Daba, Peter, and Molly. So thank you so much, and Rebecca, for your amazing comments. And thanks for being account and countess of the week. Truly, I do notice who, like, I may not comment back to every comment, but I see every comment. So, and I love our community so much because it is physical with the eating and the physical activity in terms of like working out, but the mental piece is so important. So making this part of your daily routine. I love hearing when people are working out and listening to the shows to be your source of hopefully GLP-1 encouragement. And make sure you go ahead and get your drinkelement.com/queen to get your free 8 sticks with any purchase as well. Special thank you to Element too for today. I'm obsessed. I'm going to have, literally, I'm driving. I'm going to go get my face lasered right now, and I'm going to have one of my Element electrolytes, which has magnesium, potassium, and sodium in it. Love it. Okay, sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Hopefully these tips helped you. If you have questions off of this video, let me know. I can always do a follow-up video if there's things you're like, well, I'm confused or whatever. Just ask in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.